How do we add subtitles? It's under the same as what Hafiz mentioned earlier, toolbox. And under titles, you can scroll all the way down to find subtitle. So this is what you do at the end of your edit once you are done with piecing everything together and trimming everything down to a nice video. So how do you drag it? How do you put it in? You just click and drag and drop. Then you have your subtitle layer over here. Then, so we have this as an example. You can drag it over here. Then when it speaks, we can change the text over here via this caption box over here. So you see it says subtitle, here says subtitle. So when I change this, the newspapers, then blah, 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 then it will change over here. Then how do you change the look of this text? You can select track style, and then you can change the font over here. You can change the color. This is like regular, bold, italic. You can change the size, alignment. You can change the position, the scale. And you can also add drop shadows so that your text stand out more. So if you see, if I add a drop shadow, offset by 2. You can see the small little drop shadow at the back of it. Yeah, so it creates an outline of sorts for you to see it better, see the text better. Same for the stroke. Stroke is a direct outline of the text itself. So you can change the color of the stroke to any color you want. Usually we just use black. It's the standard. So if you turn it off, you can see a difference as well. It becomes less bold if you use white. You can also add a background. This background creates the border for your text. Yep. So then how do you add more subtitle? Normally you like when you subtitle things, it's usually a very long speech or an interview. So what you can do is go back to this captions tab, and once you are done with, say, this part of the sentence, so let me just change this. Newspapers, as you know, provide us. Then at the next line, the sentence starts over here. If you base it on the audio, you can just click add new. Clicking on add new will create another like object, subtitle object. Yeah. The first drafts of history. So the first drafts of history. So that's basically how you do subtitles. If there are no questions, I'll move on to lower thirds. So lower thirds is basically the same, works the same way as subtitles. So it's also under titles at the top, under toolbox titles, and then you can find all your titles and lower thirds inside here. So if you see, they actually have a star when you hover over it. Yeah. So what it does when you click the star is to add it to your favorites. So what I have is some that I have already favorited. So you can add some to your favorites, those that you find that it's more professional looking, more suitable for our for corporate use. So you can refer to the YouTube video when if you want to copy this. Okay, Faisal asked, is there a tool to auto suggest the subtitles? Not that I know of. Usually it's manual labor. I mean, there are some programs that can do that, but it's not in DaVinci Resolve. Okay, Zainab asked, does the picture have to be in any format? Okay, for images, there's a bunch of different formats, but usually we use JPEG, JPG, and PNG. So for pictures, that's the one that you want to go for. For video, it's usually MOV or MP4. Okay, anonymous attendee asked if we want to use the background for subtitles, we have to adjust the length of the background for every single sentence. To be honest, I haven't tried that before. Let me just bring it in here and try to show you what happens. Okay. Yep. So I guess this answers your question. You would have to go and change the background every time you create a new sentence. So I guess what another way you can do is to just make the length all the way to the edge, so you can just cover it like this. But it's not as nice. So we would recommend that you just stick to using stroke and drop shadow so that your text pop out more instead of background. How to find toolbox? Okay, toolbox is under effects library on the left side. If you see, normally when the project starts, you will see the media pool. You just have to click on effects library and you will have this tab popping up. And then you can find toolbox and then titles and your subtitle.